welcome. This is a body doubling session, and today we're going to talk about all or nothing, right? So, if you fall into those categories where you're like, I'm going to track everything or I'm going to track nothing, today we're going to meet in the middle and talk about tracking. If you, maybe it just feels super overwhelming to track your spending, right? So, we're going to talk about today's little tip is to pick those top three, maybe problem areas, categories that you get out of control with sometimes. Maybe it's food. I know that's a big one for a lot of families. Maybe it's some Amazon shopping or last minute Target runs, that kind of stuff. Figure out what those categories are and then just work on tracking those three. Now, don't worry about tracking all the other ones. Just focus on those problem areas, and that will help reduce that overwhelm a little bit, but also it'll help you get some clarity on, you know what? Sometimes we find out that our spending isn't necessarily as bad as we think it is in our head, right? So if you're like me, I can my dad always said I make a mountain out of a molehill. Like, I always think this is so much worse than it really is. And so the whole goal is to just be able to look at facts and be able to make decisions from there. So if tracking all of your spending feels super overwhelming, today's tip is just pick three things. So if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Jules, the budget nerd, and I help families eliminate debt and budget super efficiently and in about 15 minutes at a time. So this video is a body doubling budget with me session because I struggle with ADHD and realize how there's not a ton of support for the ADHD community and the whole money management thing. So I'm here to help with that. But also, I have a podcast that is in 15-minute times because you know what? Sometimes as busy parents, all we have is a few minutes. And so that's what I teach inside my coaching membership as well, is how can we do this in small chunks of time, still accomplish our financial goals and not just suck all the joy out of life, right? Spending our money should be fun. And so that's what we do here. So welcome. I have been studying personal finance for over 25 years, including a degree in economics. I was taught how to budget. And then my husband and I got into $107,000 in consumer debt. We are now debt free. And so, I know about the shame and the regret and all of the emotions and all the things that go into that, and especially the I should know better feeling. So, if that's something that you relate to, welcome. I am your guide. And so today we're just going to go over, that we're going to work alongside each other to work on your budget. So maybe, if you get overwhelmed with the thought of just tracking everything, today's challenge is to just look at those top three categories that you feel like you might be out of control, and then just track those. So I'm gonna hit the music right here, and so that you have an opportunity to pull out that budget, whether it's an app or a spreadsheet, or maybe you're a pen and paper kind of person. Grab that budget and let's get to work. Right, quick check-in. All right, quick check-in. How's it going? Does it feel good? Does it still feel a little overwhelming? Some encouragement. Just remember that this is about little consistencies instead of doing like a whole bunch of stuff never. That's right. That's not going to be effective. So if you can stay consistent with just checking these three categories, and fine tuning those, you're going to have some huge success. You don't have to revamp the whole budget. Just pick those three and work on tracking those and see how it goes. Right. So remember, progress over perfection. I hope that this was some good time well spent for you. You got to track some of those categories that, maybe you're like, okay, these could use some work. So the challenge moving forward is to just track those three categories maybe for the next week and just see how your spending lines up with what you had planned in your budget and see if it's like higher, is it lower, right there in the middle. You're doing great. So I do want to share a special invite with you if you like this kind of stuff and want to learn more. I'm doing a live workshop, 15 minutes to 15 minutes to money clarity. I'm going to be teaching the workshop live, so I will drop the link in the description so that you can come check that out. It is a free workshop. And we'll just talk about getting some clarity on our money so that when you go to make your budget, it's just a little bit easier. So, a little bit quicker, because 15 minutes is sometimes all we have. So, see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.